what I predicted is actually already happening. Ford is firing people that work in their internal combustion engine factories, 8,000 of them, in order to increase their electric vehicle production. So if you work for Ford right now and it's not on the right side of the fence, then it might be time to find something else to do. Hello my friends and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. And you know what? This is an interesting story. But first, thank you to our Patreon supporters. I really appreciate what you do. If you want to invest as well in electric cars, in the electric vehicle revolution, in battery technology, in lithium, nickel, whatever it is, the app that I use is called Stake. Now, if you want to use Stake, you can do so. And if you create an account on Stake, which is free to do, you can actually get a free stock. Now, if you want to do that, I've got a link in the description below. Use that link and you'll be able to get a free stock when you create an account with Stake. Now, personally, I'm invested in Tesla, BYD, XPeng, and NIO, as well as a couple of small lithium miners too. Now, back in March, Ford decided to boost electric vehicle spending to $50 billion, setting up a new Model E unit. So essentially, Ford is creating two different divisions at Ford. It's creating Ford Blue and Ford New. So Ford Electric and Ford, internal combustion engine version of the company. Now, eventually, I believe Ford planned to bankrupt the internal combustion engine division, get rid of a lot of the debts, and then start anew with their new electric vehicle company. Now, that may not be true, but it's very clear, right, that if you're working for Ford, the internal combustion engine division, your days are definitely numbered, and that's just a fact, whether you like it or not. I advise, if you can, get some training. Try to apply for a job at the Ford electric vehicle division, because that is where all of their money is going. And this is evidence of what I've been saying now for a while. Now, back in March, Ford said it would boost spending on electric vehicles to $50 billion, up from the previous $30 billion through 2026, and run its EV units separately from its legacy combustion engine business, in a move aimed at catching Tesla, leader of the electric vehicle sales charts in the US. Now, right now, Ford are saying, Jim Farley is saying, they're going to catch Tesla in 2025. GM's saying the same thing. Now Volkswagen has joined the party. Jim Farley has joined the party from Ford. Herbert Diess with Volkswagen has joined the party for them. Herbert Diess actually said it wasn't possible for Volkswagen to do that. They said they needed their new factory in 2026 to open. Now they've changed their mind. Everyone's getting on the party. Everyone's going to beat Tesla in 2025. But really, the only company that might beat them in 2025 is BYD. That's possible. Anyway, the reorganization and additional investment at Ford comes as chief executive Jim Farley bets aggressively on the company's electrification strategy. Farley said Ford plans to build more than 2 million EVs in 2026, about 1/3 of its annual global production, with EVs rising to 50% of Ford's total volume in 2030. Now, as I've been saying for a while now, and no one seems to be paying attention to this, there's only two companies on the planet right now that we know for sure make a profit from EVs, Tesla and BYD. Ford does not expect to make a profit on its EV business until their next generation vehicle models begin production in 2025, according to Chief Financial Officer John Lawler. In other words, Ford's saying, no, they don't make a profit on the F-150 electric pickup truck or the Mustang Mach-E. Both of them are loss leaders. That is obviously a concern. One that Ford are willing to accept this reality, but it does mean they need to move from making a loss on EVs to making a profit, which will be a challenge. Now, I reported months back when this happened that Ford planned to separate its main vehicle efforts into two separate businesses in order to accelerate its electric vehicle effort and provide a business structure that can do what I said earlier, right? Put them in position to get rid of one and keep the other. Although the EV business named Ford Model E will be separated from the company's internal combustion engine unit, Ford Blue, the two divisions will share technology and best practices. The two businesses, along with Ford commercial vehicle unit Ford Pro, will report separate financial results by 2023. So what are Wall Street saying about this? Do they like this? Do they love it? Do they hate it? They said, we view the news positively as it has strong industrial logic and it will enable investors to separately value the money-losing EV business. Now, that's what coming from Wells Fargo analyst Colin Langan in a note. Barclays auto analyst Brian Johnson said in a note titled Reorganization, Not Restructuring, that Ford's announcement suggests it is likely to accelerate its progress towards an electric vehicle future, but not to a near-term spin. Ford said it will spend $5 billion on EVs this year, 2022, a twofold rise over 2021. It's also targeting an adjusted earnings before interest and taxes, that's called EBIT, EBIT, margin of 10% by 2026 versus 8% it hopes to achieve this year. After this story happened, right, Ford actually ended up laying off, I think it was about 200 engineers that worked in their internal combustion engine division. It fired them, it gave them no notice. Because Ford hires a lot of people as non-permanent employees, even including engineers, it can just give you no notice and say, see ya, go home. That's it. And that's what Ford actually did. That wasn't clickbait. Some people said it was, but actually I was proven to be correct in what I said, that Ford did do that. And they said, end of the day, go home. You don't have a job here at Ford anymore. So you can see it's happening quickly. Pretty quickly. At the time I said this would accelerate, and it is. 8,000 jobs now are going so that Ford can invest more money into electric cars. It's good and bad. It's bad for the people who got fired. It's good for the future of American industrialization. The future of American vehicles is clearly electric cars. Ford has no choice. My question is though, can they retrain some of these employees, some of these 8,000 employees to work in their electric vehicle division? Clearly Ford thinks they can't, but maybe they can. That's just a question I wanted to put out there. Do you think they can? Am I right? Am I being too optimistic? Maybe I am. Let me know. As always, thank you for watching. Great to see you. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.